Greetings, my people. My experience about marriage, when it's come to being husband and wife, I would like to talk about my experience and my advice to those of you who are hoping that one day you guys will have a husband or wife to spend the rest of your life with. Now, from my experience for 7 years with my Kevin product, which I married for 7 years. Now, I dated him for pretty much, I know him for 10 years and 7 years married, putting up with his baggage, which I didn't have any baggage. So, when I married, I met him with his house. He also had a cottage. Now, I myself had my own place. And I met him with his place. He met me with my place. And also, whatever I had in St. Lucia was mine. He met me with it. When I married, I find out. He started telling me about he has financial issues. He have issues paying his house. He cannot afford both of the house. He's going to sell it. I said, okay, well, I bought something on your table. We are now husband and wife. I fell in love with him in the trailer. No, I fell in love with him in the cottage, beautiful cottage by the lake. So I said to him, sell the house and we can keep the cottage. That's when he told me that he promised his son his cottage. So I personally, when I marry, I expect the man at his place. Whatever he has is his and whatever I have is mine, but I didn't do a prenup. We didn't need a prenup because I am a woman who understands when you have a man or you marry a man or you have a man in your life, you have to be able to come with something to add to your table and the man have to add to your table. He couldn't, the man did not have anything to add to my table when I married, but I know he had a house and a cottage. And I'm saying to myself, if he has one of them, then maybe I can make a business with him. And we can work together and make a business out of the cottage because I am in the hospitality and tourism industry. I marry for business and companionship. So I saw an opportunity where we've been talking about everything he talk about. He cannot afford to go to dinner every weekend. He cannot afford that. He cannot afford this. He have bad knee. Ready. I knew all of that, but I still marry him because I thought he was a man of quality and business mindset like me. So I marry him. With that being said, push come to shove. He sold the cottage. After he sold the cottage, more problem, more financial problem. Then move to the house, more problem, financial problem. Up to now, he cannot add to my table. I've been waiting because, as you know, they have somebody as saying, the man say, there's somebody who commented and saying, why the man say his house is for his children, you still stay with him. Let me tell you something, Let me tell you all something. I am too smart for you guys to question my videos and telling me why I stay with the man that tell me his house is for his children. We are all adults here. So at the end, at his age and my age, I supposed to have my own stability. And he had his, but he was the one that's broke. He was the one who didn't have anything to add to my table. So I waited for him for the 7 years because we are husband and wife. Why would I leave the man just because he didn't give me a house? I had intention of getting my house. He promised me that after he finished, do what he has to do, pay off his debt, he promised me a life to fix my house in St. Lucia, and I have my dream house that I always tell him I would want. So I work with him in respect to when the time comes, I trusted him enough to help me stabilize my house that I have in St. Lucia. And he promised that. So, I was smart, like I said. As soon as I hear he say, he promised his son his house. I worked with him for 7 years. There was no son, no daughter came and helped him when he had problems with that house. I was the one who worked hard with him with that house. That's what good woman does. They stand by their husband. And by the way, I am a wife material. I never come to any man for the 40-something years of my life. I've never depended on no man to add to my table. I work for what I have today. And if, mind you, when I find that out, what he was trying to do, because I know Kevin Eagleson is a selfish man. He's a selfish, crazy man, which I knew. As soon as he said that to me, I told him, let's draw the papers. Let's draw the papers, because since you already told me your house is for your children, anytime I am with you or I'm putting money into wasting my time with you, I need it in writing, 10% interest on what I put into your house and helping you. When he needed money, I was the one. When he needed an SUV to drive when his car broke down, I was the one who was renting for him to get out there for a job to pay his loans, right? I was the one who was doing it. So I put in my money, my retirement money, into this house. Because he didn't have it. When he needed some money, I put in my money. So at the end of the day, I had interest, 10% interest on the money I put in. Annually, 10% interest annually. So at the end of the day, I saved $2,000 times 7. So I'm not dumb, mongrel. I'm not dumb. I had my prenup agreement that he owes me, and he paid me when he sold the house. He paid me. He just did not give me the money for the trailer. Okay? So at the end of the day, right now there, I don't know what his problem is. 4 months now. Why Kevin doesn't want to sign the divorce? Now he's saying, oh, I have more money than him. Why do I have more money than you? When I had my own money, when you didn't have to give me, what is the problem that you don't want to sign the divorce? You kept the old trailer, right? You can keep the old trailer. What is the problem now? You choose, you want me to be happy. You want me to find my happiness, right? Why you are holding the divorce? Why you do not want to sign it so we can put it in? Because it will take a year for me to move on with my life and my future to find somebody else. Why are you doing that? Why is it so difficult for him to sign the divorce? Why is doing that? For what? For what? It's a simple divorce. Why he refused to sign it? Right? And one thing I want to say is, if 2 young people, they finish school and then they don't have a house, they were living at their parents' house, they plan to buy a house together and they don't have kids, that's a different story. That they can buy a house together. But I met the man with his house. He met me with all my things. I had a child. He had 2. I had 1. So I expect that his house wasn't going to be mine. And my stuff wasn't going to be his. But at the end of the day, the table has turned that he thinks that he can come after me for my estate. Right? Is that right? Is that right, my Facebook friends? But let me tell you all something. I was smarter, like I always say. I got nothing to lose. He didn't use his brains on me. I was smart enough that I knew that day was going to come because I knew how difficult this man was. But I was just, we had already married. So I took a chance to see, okay, we can pull through this. We can get through this. I put up with all his baggage, broke ass. And today you don't even know who I am. He was a dog with no teeth for the 7 years, neglected by his children, didn't have no help. And today, Today you want to disrespect me as your wife? Well, let me tell you something, Kevin Eagleson. You better sign these divorce papers this month. And you go and get lost and stay lost. Stay lost. Because you are a complete loser and a lowlife. Right from the beginning, both you and your 2 children are lowlife. You tried to use me to take care of your life and your kids. It didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work. I had everything planned just in case. Just in case for today. Just for today. The things you are doing, I was ready and prepared because I knew men cannot be trusted. And men are not women friends. Because majority of men are selfish. Nonsense.